Basketball.
It's time to strap in and get ready. The Insight NBA team is in the arena, bringing you the ultimate play-by-play on who's hot and who's not to help you win your leagues and dominate your mates. You're now hooping with your hosts, Matty G, Skiddy, and Mally for the Insight NBA show.
Hello and welcome to the Insight AFL, not AFL. It's the Insight NBA show. And today, myself and joined with by the big fella himself, the big horse. How are you, bros?
Mate, it's good. I can see why you get mixed up because we just spent a whole season doing the AFL together, which was absolute premium content. But this is actually my first mock draft I'm doing this year and couldn't have picked a better bloke to start it off with. So for me, I'm picking from three. Where are you going, mate?
So yes, the big horse going from 3, getting ready for his first cash league comp. That's getting ready. I think is that get underway tomorrow?
Oh shit, is it? I thought it was next week. It might be tomorrow. I better check that. Lucky I'm getting going now. Yeah,
100%. Either way, you got to be prepared. But yes, so horse will be going from 3. I'm going to be running from 8. I'm going to be trying to do the Jayson Tatum build. As you can see here, horse. What do you reckon? Skiddy's question of the day: who is the better Tatum, Jayson or Deuce?
Channing.
Much better.
Yeah.
You are right there. So, yeah, I'm going to be trying to build around Jayson Tatum. As we know from Tatum, he gets good points. He really doesn't hurt you anywhere. So this is kind of what I'm going to be looking for in today's build. Horse, when we talk first round, right? Mm-hmm. And you got picked 3. So who are you going to look for? Because it's most likely going to be Wemby and Jokic, and then who do you go?
I am a big fan of SGA. So I will be going SGA. Why, might you ask? Or did you just say? Well, I'll explain to you, mate. I think SGA will have the better statistical season over Luka because, one, Luka, while he is very good for fantasy basketball, he does have that job share with Kyrie. And if Kyrie gets hot at any certain time, then he'll just run with the point and Luka will play a little bit off ball. But with SGA, now that Giddy's not there, there's not that pressure to give another ball handler the ball. He's going to have Caruso. He's going to have Dort. Jay will handle the rock when SGA's having a rest. SGA will have the ball in his hands in clutch time. I think he gets bumped up a little bit this season. Does that mean his percentages might drop a little? Yeah. But rebounds-wise, assists-wise, I think they all go up.
Yep, I can absolutely see it, mate. I reckon you hit the nail on the head. I reckon the percentages, though, Shea doesn't care about defense. Like, the defense does not worry him slightly. Maybe we see a drop on his 2 steals a game because maybe he has to do a bit more handling the offense. But, Horse, before we get stuck into the draft, because we only got 30 seconds, I think we're going to have to say a quick shout-out to our day ones that this draft is brought to us today by The Standard Squeeze. That is right. You make sure these guys, with our beautiful products, they can help you drink responsibly and conveniently. As you can see up the top there with the Standard Squeeze bottle, you can see it right here. Keeping my beer beautifully cold. And guess what? I had a coffee in the morning when I recorded with Dan Titus. So how bloody good's that? Horse, they're day ones. They do a beautiful thing. You talk to me about it as what you're about to do because I need to turn this damn draft sounds off because it is going to do my goddamn head in. That's one thing I should have told Dan Titus to be like, hey, turn that beepy crap down a little.
Disgusting, isn't it? So here we are. As I was saying earlier, I'm going to draft SGA at 3.
Nice.
Yes, 2 steals may go down, but when you're looking at Dort, Caruso, these sorts of players who are in the elite section of on-ball defenders, does that then mean then there's going to be more rushed passes for then SGA to get in the lane of as well? So while many people think it might bump down his steals, there's a chance it could go up as well.
Yeah, no, there's absolutely a chance of that. The main, okay, cool. I did get Jayson Tatum here. I just want to preface this. I wouldn't be taking Jayson Tatum at 8. I do not think that's a smart thing, but I'm just going to show what I would do because I have to try and get Tatum because he can go at this range. That is for one. The only other thing, Horse, that worries me about Tatum, about SGA and his steals dropping is that Caruso was actually the leader in deflections last year.
Yeah.
He was the best player in NBA per, I think it was per time spent on it. So that's the one thing that could take a bit from SJ. But either way, he's still going to be able to score. You know what you're going to get out of him. You get the high free throw percentages. No worries there. So the first round at the moment, this is the one that is interesting to me at the moment. I spoke to about G and Dan Titus this morning, Horse. Wemby 1, Jokic 2, Shea 3, Luka 4, consensus top 4, no worries there. Davis at 5, Giannis 6, Halliburton at 7. I've taken Tatum at 8, wouldn't take him there. Trae Young at 9, Joel Embiid at 10. And that is what has happened in industry pickup as well, that Joel Embiid is now being around this 10 mark instead of the 7 mark. I think people are worried about the knee.
Well, from what I read, he's already been evaluated for an issue around his knee. So for me, he's definitely not a top or a first round pick at the moment. I don't think you can afford to gamble your first round pick on someone that might only play 40 games, but might play 60 games. So would it be okay picking him at 13 on the turn? Probably, because you've already got someone at 12 that you've got your core there. But in a first round, if he goes down and you're picking him at 10, you're effectively leaning on your 14th, 15th pick then to be your best player. And in a 12-team league, you're already starting on the back foot.
Yeah, you're 100% right there, Horse. It does make it hard, but what he provides is going to be absolutely sensational when he does get on the court. It's just a little bit of worry. I think they're being a little bit they're being iffy around it, but they're not saying too much. So I think it's all right. After MB, we saw Curry at 11, Harden at 12, who's now pretty much a first round player, and Edwards 13, Kevin Durant, Donovan Mitchell, Sabonis. I've taken Scotty Barnes there to really get my defensive stats up nicely, pairing with rebounds, assists. I'm going to go for a point guard in this next one. I was tossing up LaMelo Ball there, but I think I'm happy with Barnes because it is hard to get small forwards later. Chet Holmgren at 18, 19 Booker, who is dropping currently because of the preseason form. Jalen Brunson at 20, LaMelo Ball at 21, Hewitt Cat at 22, and then Kyrie Irving 23. I like the pairing. That's smart to go Cat and Shea. A little bit strange with the Cat being good at threes, Shea not so much, but the other categories, bang on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spot on, mate. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And again, that's the advantage of doing a few mock drafts so you can play with your pairings and what you're good at and what you're not and try and iron out any kinks before your actual cash leagues do start.
So with Tatum, having Tatum as my build, I don't really feel like a punt strategy is viable when you're straight off the bat with Tatum. You don't really lock yourself into one. Do you see one with Shea? Like, are you looking at because he doesn't really hurt you anywhere, but the other thing he doesn't really get massively is threes.
No, he doesn't. So, and again, I've gone with LeBron with my third pick. So again, like SGA does a bit of everything. Cat, I feel like he's going to do a bit of everything. I think he may even have a bit of an uptick in production with what we've seen in the preseason. LeBron, he might rest here and there. With threes, I'm definitely lacking in threes and probably blocks at the moment. But for me, I've got my eye on a few in the next round or the next couple of rounds coming up, which are good for blocks. And threes, I feel comfortable I can pick them up later in the draft as well.
I love that from you, Horse. That is absolutely beautiful drafting by you. So after, where do we get? You got Towns, Kyrie Irving. That is so late for Kyrie. Dame Lillard at 24, Fred VanVleet, Larry Markkinen, you went LeBron at 27, De'Aaron Fox, Alperen Sengun, which is high. Paolo Banchero at 30 is ridiculously high. What are we doing here? Tyrese Maxey. I've gone to DeJounte Murray. Give me that defensive stats around there. That's fine by me. Maybe a little bit high. I don't care. I'm taking him around there. J-Dub, 33. Paul George at 34 is great value. Bam at 35. Mobley, 36. Jar at 37. I reckon some people are getting some good values around here with some of these players. Bam especially, 35. Not bad. We're just rolling it as it is. The good thing about fantasy is so many fluctuations about it, and so many of these players that can go up and down that you can find good value for in a round where you don't have to take a punt strategy immediately, which is great.
Yeah, fantastic. Again, it's all about ironing out your kinks with mock drafts, but with yourself, mate, who have you got with your team at the moment, and have you got anything that you're looking at punting at the moment, or are you fairly open to still drafting the best possible player?
So I've also gone with about this, roughly about what you've been saying as well. So I've gone Tatum, Murray, Barnes, which only really leaves me deficient in threes, but I think I can pick them up later. I might go, this could be silly. No, you know what? I'm actually going to pick my threes now. I'm going to go Desi Bain.
That's who I was looking at. Yeah, he's good.
I feel like if I get him there, that's all right. One thing that I found myself going for a lot as well, Horse, is when I don't get the first pick, I'm boycotting blocks, basically. I am not worrying about taking Jaren Jackson high. I'm not worried about taking Miles Turner high. I'm not worried about Rudy Gobert or anything like that. I am seeing those guys devalued at the blocks and taking that out of the equation because I just think Wemby is just so unbelievably broken in that category.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely is. If you don't have Wemby, I feel like if you've got Wemby, you're looking at picking up, your SARs and that later in the draft as well.
I reckon if you get like one more blocks guy in that mid round, like you are laughing. Like if you get like a Jared Allen, Rudy Gobert, Jaren Jackson, even Jalen Duren, there's some good guys to be able to pick up and they can really do some really good work for you on the blocks there. Your pick, but I'll quickly go through the boys. Jaren went 38, 39 was Cade, 40 was Turner. I took Bain at 41. Jalen Johnson, 42, about right. Jaylen Brown, 43. Hopefully, that could be a great pick as long as his free throws come back up because they were dog shit last year.
Yeah,
Jamal Murray, 44. 45, Gobert. 46, Derek White was you. Love that from you, Horse. That is sensational. Pairing Derek White with SGA, getting two of the best defensive guards that you can. Mwah, chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. Love that. Thank you. And now I've got my eye on another forward, and hopefully it doesn't get picked up in the next two picks. But
you taking that risk on
Indiana
Kawhi?
Pacers. What's that? Sorry,
I thought you were going to take that risk on Kawhi.
No, so I think Kawhi will sit early this year. The Indiana Pacers were the number one team for tempo and I believe points per game last season. When you're looking at someone like Tyrese who coordinates the offense there, if it's not in his hands, it's in Siakam's hands. And I feel like Siakam with my fifth pick could be absolute value. Yes, I'm aware that I'm still not getting threes. That's okay because I'm shoring up assists. I'm shoring up points. The spinny boy himself.
Horse.
I feel like I'm picking the best player on the board still here.
Horse, what is the easiest category to pick up off of the waiver wire? Bar none. Damn straight it is. And what do you need to pick up? What do I need to pick up? Threes. Hell yeah. We'll find them later. Bloody, give me 100%. Give me three. Like, give me that game where bloody Duncan Robinson's going to come in, play 25 minutes, hit 6 of them. Like, yeah, no worries. Anyone can go off hot for these threes. But either way, I like that from you, Horse. Derek White was to Mick at 46. Jimmy Butler, 47. Isaiah Quickly at 48, which is okay. I don't mind that there. Garland at 49. Wagner at 50. Pascal at 51, and then Jared Allen at 52, DeMar DeRozan 53. This is where centers normally do come off a little bit. Yeah.
Do you think DeMar DeRozan takes away from the Fox-Sabonis combination at Sacramento?
Yes, I think he does. It's the spacing is what hurts in that, Mick. Sabonis can shoot threes, but he's not like a massive three-point shooter. DeMar can shoot threes, but he's not a massive three-point shooter. Fox was massively improved last year, but he wasn't great before that. And I think that there's going to be some spacing issues, but I still think they're going to be able to get theirs. It depends if they are able to completely unlock it. But I think DeMar takes a bit of a hit because he is mostly tied to scoring, but he's also a very efficient scorer. Domas needs to still get his assists, but we'll see how it goes. But that is one that I am worried about spacing-wise. Vucevic at 54, Duren at 55. I've taken Kawhi at 56. I think that is enough of a fall for me to have a swing at. I'm pretty safe with durability of the rest of my players. Hopefully Bain doesn't hurt himself again. But, I think Kawhi can work really, really well at my side. And around there, I'm happy to have that gamble for first-round value that he can provide in those type of games.
100%.
It's tough because around this mark now, Horse, we're starting to get to players that have some deficiencies somewhere. Like Zion has his free throws, Kawhi's injured, Bridges could be usage-wise, basically. Miles Bridges hits women. We don't like that. So there's a lot of guys that you go, oh, there's a fault here with one of them. Are you super worried about that right now? Or are you more looking into the fact of, hey, where's my value coming from next? Or are you 100%. Looking more at the negativity?
No, I'm still looking at value for my picks. I'm still 9 picks away at the moment. But see, I don't like that at all. People are really big on Isaiah Hartenstein at the moment.
Yep.
I can't see him inside the top 100 this year, mate.
I can see him top 100, but anything beyond that is really pushing it for me because 25 minutes a night, okay, fine. We can get little bits and pieces here and there.
He was getting 40s in bloody New York, which is why he had inflated stats.
Exactly right. But also, too, there's going to be games where, Chet Holmgren's going to start with Dorton Caruso, and they're going to use him at bigger bodies. When they play the bigger body teams like, Jokic or Embiid, you know how hard it is for him and how much effort he has to exert to be able to defend those guys? He ain't going to be doing everything else. 100%. It's tough. It is tough. But either way on Hartenstein, that's where that sits there for John. Fine. DeAndre Ayton at 61. Awesome. Have you seen DeAndre Ayton's ranking on ESPN at the moment?
Negative.
It is 147.
Really?
It is 147. Which I can't. I cannot understand how he's that low. Oh my
so
God.
the ESPN guys are drunk while they make up their stats? Because that's...
If you can figure out another way how he's not...
That's ridiculous.
I'm going safe. I'm going G's man here, Tobias Harris.
How's Harris?
So we had Zion at 58, Claxton 59, Hartenstein 60, Ayton 61. Is that McKyle or sorry, that was Miles. Holy shit, Miles Bridges after Mikal Bridges is outrageous. Levine at 63, Skiddy 64, Harris 65, Michael Porter Jr. That is early as hell at 66, Randall at 67. Horse, it's coming up to you, and you're building a nice little squad here, if you don't mind me saying myself, mate. Where are you looking at next time as I pick this up so everyone can see what you got?
I could pick up a height.
White, James, Towns, Siakam. Some nice defensive there.
Yeah, I'm looking offense now. So the likes of Devin Vassell, Cam Thomas doesn't really do it for me because while he gets hot sometimes, he doesn't other times.
Yep. Vassell, remember, he's going to miss.
My guy just got taken off the board. I wanted Brandon Miller there. That's okay. We'll go with Devin Vassell.
He's going to miss the first month of the year, though. He's
That's
got
a stats man here.
Yeah, I can't remember what the injury was. I wish they could tell me there, but there is something I know he's missing the first month. So maybe Beal would be more suited. Oh, what we got? Yep, you got Beal anyway.
For me. What did I take?
Bradley. You got Bradley Beal.
Yeah, hate that there. Don't like it.
Mate, hey, I tell you what, I normally would, and I'm more on it, Mick, but these preseason games and Beal's ability and his willingness to play defense has actually got me excited about Beal around this territory. We know he's been almost second-round value before. He's not going to be able to return second-round value with KD and Booker on there, but if he can play defense, it's keeping him on the floor, and that was something that he wasn't doing necessarily last year. I like it. I actually like that pick there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
Thank you.
It's getting
I meant it.
No worries. No worries, mate. I love that.
Mate, I'm looking a little smoky here because I know this guy's not going to get back to me. But in Washington, they picked up a center on a 2-year, $20 million contract, which is a really nice contract that they can trade off once this guy pops off the first couple of months of the season, mate.
Okay.
And that's Jonas Source.
Yep.
But tell me, like, why would they have picked him up on that cap-friendly deal to not go, you know what, we're rebuilding at the moment. Let's get the most out of him for the first couple of months. He'll have inflated stats, and then they'll look to move him for a draft pick because they are in a real rebuilding stage at the moment. Yep. If you can sit on him, get your money's worth, and then trade him off before he gets traded to, say, a contender that needs a center presence where he's not getting the minutes or the stats, it could be a win-win.
Yeah, no, it definitely could be. You're 100% right there. And they, it's just, Val, great. It's just, I still worry about the engine. I just don't know if they are going to play him enough minutes, and that's my massive worry about him. Like, we've seen it in. I can't go Holiday. God damn it. Screw it. Let's just see. Let's just go Ingram, because that can return value from that point. We saw it in Pelicans that Jonas Valanciunas, he wouldn't be able to get over that 30-minute threshold majority of games because his engine was just gassed. So if that's the same thing that happens in Washington, then he's going to be great when he gets on the floor, but it's a real cap where his potential is going to be. Like, there's games where you could see him go 20 points and 10 rebounds in 20 minutes or so. But if he doesn't get to those 20 minutes, we're just looking at, 12 and 8, and we're like, could just pick up other guys in that case. That's
100%.
I just want to see the engine to be able to completely tick over. We've missed a few here, Horse. As it's my turn to drive, and I already know who I'm taking, so I am going to hold on for a second here. We'll go back. Beal, Cam Thomas, 71. Russell, Bogdanovic, Vassell, Valanciunas at 75. Poole at 76, which is around where he's starting to go now. Keegan Murray at 77 is something that I cannot get around. Jabari Smith Jr. at 78. Austin Reeves, 79. Ingram at 80, which is me. Kuzma at 81, who I could have also gone there. Nurkic, 82. McCollum, 83. Holiday, 84. Kuminga at 85, which I don't mind. Anunoby at 86. Simons at 87. Brook Lopez at 88. Owen Zubac at 89. Kobe White at 90. Capella at 91. Kessler at 92. Why do I like Zubac so much? I hear you, Horse. James Harden gets the ball. James Harden likes to drive, dribble, hand off to a center. That's Zubac.
Think Clint Capella when he was at the Rockets.
100%. And also, too, he doesn't kill you in free throw percentage, which is, thank you. So I love that. Podal, Suggs at 94. And you went Suggsy. Tell me, why did you go Suggs? I love it.
Love myself a bit of Suggs.
So
I'm a big fan of his defensive stats. And through the preseason, I've been keeping an eye on the Orlando Magic, and the ball looks to be in his hands a little bit more.
Magic. Yep.
So, for me, his defensive stats alone just shore up my team. So now I'm looking at going pretty offensive heavy for the rest of the draft. When you're looking at Derek White, LeBron James, Siakam, SGA, I'm getting steals everywhere there. So now I'm going to target threes. I'm going to target points. I'm going to try and level out my draft because I feel like defensively, I'm pretty set now.
Yep, I agree. The hard thing that you're going to run into at the moment is trying to get the points at this point in the draft. It is achievable, but it is hard to do. But that's okay. I reckon you'll be able to sort some out here. There's a guy that's staring at you from Miami. That would be a beautiful points guy, I believe.
You think Terry Rozier?
I think he could be all right. Or Jalen Green from Houston. Both of those guys should be able to get a fair amount of points, but they do have their deficiencies.
Yeah, they do. I had me hover over Jalen Green.
Yep, like it. Yep. I mean, look, around 100, you have a swing there for the amount of points that he could theoretically generate. He just needs to get those percentages up. And if he gets those percentages up, he is not a negative player in the slightest. So you can definitely see that from you. What do I need? I need one more center. But other than that, I am looking I have got a flexible team, Horse. I'll tell you that much. There is a shitload going on around here where I am just going, I probably haven't gone super high at certain categories, but screw it. We're just going to keep leaning into what I am trying to do with this bloody Jayson Tatum build. So my pick here, and I could look at Chris Paul. That is something that I could do to try and get some assists, but is that you know what? No, I'm going to go another all-rounder, and I'm going to go Josh Hart here because I love that he's now starting in New York. He doesn't have to worry about Dante DiVincenzo. There's a lot to like about Josh Hart now, especially that he's a power forward swing. It's very hard to get small forward and power forwards. One thing that I have noticed as well, Horse, by doing a lot of mock drafts and real drafts, small forwards are a bitch to draft late. Like good small forwards, pain in the ass. That's one that is Yeah, absolutely going on that. So when we're looking at this point in the draft as well, we know that there's a lot of points in draft where centers will go off immediately in a group, right? You'll see 4 centers go off in a matter of like 6 picks. When small forwards, you get to a point around the 110 mark and you go, holy shit, my small forward options are shocking. Like guys that could do 0. I had one the other day where I got I think it was a great pick at the time. I got Jaden McDaniels, but every other small forward around that was either a bench guy, a guy that would just stand there and shoot threes, or a guy that would do literally nothing.
Is Jaden McDaniels, is he the one that plays at T-Wolves?
Yes.
Or is that Jalen?
Not that is. No, Jaden, the good one, plays for the Wolves, and and Jalen plays for
someone else.
The Kings.
Okay.
I did actually see that. Yeah, he was at Toronto last year. No. Wait, he was at Toronto or Philly, and now he's at the Kings.
Okay.
We've gone another picks are just flying off the board here. So I
wanted Barrett. I feel like that's really good value at 113.
Sorry. I apologize for that. So Chris Paul went 107, Derek Lively 108, Cam Johnson 109, Trey Jones, Kongwu at 111, Naz Reid at 111. That has got to be a bit of bias going up there, but I don't mind it. Especially if Gobert goes down, Naz Reid is going to be unbelievably good. Barrett at 113 to boost some points for me. I know he kills me in other categories, but who cares? Zach Eddy 114 is high, but that's all right. Amen Thompson at 115. God, if anyone goes down for that Houston lineup, then that is an absolute steal. Pajemski, 116. Horse, you're coming up next. What are you looking at here? Because we look at your team, and you need another center, but you can swing Cat if need be. What are you thinking here?
You hit the nail on the head before about picking up decent small forwards at this point.
Yes.
And I'm picking up Jeremy Grant.
Okay, so as we see here, Horse only had Siakam and LeBron up until that point. And then you literally look at it, it was Jeremy Grant, small forward wise, Asar Thompson injured, Rui Hachimura, God no. Powell only scores. Malik Monk only scores, maybe some assists. Neesmith, Avdia, rotation issues. Wiggins, God.
Shit, it's me.
Yeah, it's you. Wiggins, screw your free throw percentage. DiVincenzo on Yahoo being a small forward is absolute chef's kiss. Did you say Dante DiVincenzo?
I did. That's my threes. That's my threes. I feel like here is absolute value for Dante.
Mate, 123 is an absolute piss take for Dante. I'd take him around 80, I reckon. If people were taking him around 80, I'd still be comfortable taking him there. Obviously, I'm not going to take him there, but mate, 123 for Dante? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep, he's getting a lot of shots this year.
You cheeky son of a... And he's good defensively too. You absolute... But oh, well, that's gambling, boys. You'll wait an extra round and your guy goes. That's just how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. What am I looking at? I'll tell you what, if Al Horford stays here, I'm going to take him. I am taking Al Horford here. Where did Porzingis 119? So, Horse, that's an interesting one. If you've got an injured guy like Porzingis, you know he's going to miss a lot. Yeah, you're not taking him?
No.
Right. So we know that Porzingis can be top 20 fantasy player, right? So he's obviously a bloody valuable player. Yes, it has a lot tied up in blocks.
I'll tell you exactly why, Skiddy.
Okay.
Because he's going to have the first 3 months off.
Yes.
And then he's going to come back. He's not going to play back-to-backs. He might not play the game after the game that he plays, which may leave you, if the Celtics are on a 1-game week, he might, 2-game week, sorry. He might only play 1 game. Or if there's a back-to-back, if there's a 3-game week and there's 1 back-to-back in there, you might get 2 out of him. They're purely going to manage him. We saw him in the finals last year. They're going to manage him through the regular season. So for me, big red crosses with Kristaps Porzingis this season.
Yeah, I can see it as well. I would be so much more out on him if he wasn't a good fantasy player. But we have to pay attention to this. You know, like it's seen as he's so good, we have to be like, But I 100% agree with you. It's going to be games cap. But if we're taking, if we're having a swing at, 128, like when he's coming up against guys like, well, Rui Hachimura just went at 132. So do I need to say more? I will take
that. That would be good if you had IR.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's say if you don't have IR, then yeah, you're definitely, that's a tough call. You're 100%.
Because then you're playing one short every week.
Very, very good prefaces. Yeah. For what? 12 weeks? That is
over half the season. Yeah.
That is hard to come back from. Yeah. No, you're 100% right. But if you have IR, then you're definitely taking Chris Porzingis. I reckon, yeah, around that 100, 120. I reckon that's pretty good. I'd take him probably about 100, 110. I reckon I could get away with. But, you know, it is, if you don't have IR, then God, no. God, no. I can't believe, for one horse, that this Carlo Matjevic guy is still getting bloody an ADP of 147. Have we not known that Tice is the starting center in New Orleans? Why are we still looking at this bloke?
Who?
Thank you. Okay, cool. All right. So you know how I was saying earlier as well, Horse, about the small forward situation, right? I just did a draft on ESPN. That's where the lack of small forwards are. So you see here, Karis LeVert, Kelly Oubre Jr., who I'm going to take Sohan actually. So Oubre, McDaniels, Sohan, Isaac, and Karis LeVert and KCP, all small forwards. All of those guys, except for Kelly Oubre Jr., are not listed as small forwards in ESPN. So you don't get any of those selections. So that's why it is so much harder to be able to pick the right guy at the right spot. So you got to really look at what platform you're using as well, right? So there's case in point, Yahoo, they have all these guys set. You don't need to be leaning up for these small forwards earlier on. Like, you've got guys to look at later.
Yep. Tell me, why
Horse.
is Keldon Johnson dropping so far in drafts?
Because there is a great chance that he doesn't even start. So that's the problem. Ooh. And then the other part about it is, Horse, is he requires usage and scoring to be able to get fantasy value. Now, is he the number one player on that team?
No.
No. Victor Wembanyama is number one on that team. Is he going to be the guy with the ball in his hands? No. That's Chris Paul. Is he going to be pretty much spot up threes and a rebound player? Yes. That can't get defensive stats? Yeah, I'm starting to fade Keldon Johnson.
We saw the other day what the Brooklyn Nets are doing, and they started quite small, which is why I think Dorian Finney-Smith with the small forward, power forward, center, that fills my center forward as well and gives me lots of flexibility.
The three cat there, I like that as a flyer. I would definitely take a safer pick now as well. If Finney-Smith starts, then we can see hopefully defensive stats, just the little bitty canning stats. I like that from you. This is your last pick here.
Far out.
Depends where you're going with it. Yep, nice. That is, yep. I reckon you've hit the nail on the head there. Saar, that is who I would 100% have gone with too. The annoying thing with him on Yahoo is that he's only power forward.
Is he power forward center on ESPN?
Yes, he is.
Fantrax? Power forward center?
I think he is, yes. I think he's on both. This is the only one where Yahoo's actually behind the ball. But I'm assuming when the first layer of positional changes come in, he'll be probably one of the first ones. Oh, yeah. Who was that co-boy picking Jaden McDaniels? I love that because I'm on the Jaden McDaniels. I'm pushing this train along, Horse.
He's good for threes.
Yes.
I've had him the last 2 years.
Yep.
Very hot and cold, though. I think without Towns, he gets more scoring, though.
Horse, I'll back you up on that one, mate, because Jaden McDaniels, his usage actually goes up about, I think it's about 6 points when he doesn't play with Karl Anthony Towns. Now,
how do you think Randall goes in that system?
Yeah, that's the next problem because how many fadeaway, how many spin fadeaway shots is Julius Randle going to be able to take before Ed Edwards says, "Nah, mate, no."
Pack your bags, you're off again. Yeah.
Hey, let's just wait and see how this goes. I mean, look,
Randall is a very, very competent player. He is an all-star. He is bloody good when he's on. Yeah, I reckon he can still fit in well. It just depends. Am I no? Yeah. Dyson Daniels over Ben Simmons now. Stuff
100%.
Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
Mate, if he's not giving me good field goal percentage and he's not being the leader of that team, then I am not in on Ben Simmons. That's for one.
I'm not in on Ben Simmons at all. Someone else can enjoy the fruits of his success for all of 5 games.
I will, buddy. I'm happy to have a crack on him. I will happily have a crack on him. I'm just thinking that there's at that point better option. D'Anthony Melton. Oh, geez, yeah. Melton actually hurt me the other day, which really sucks. But but that is the draft there done, horse. We're gonna have a quick gander at our teams, if you don't mind. But how was that? Your first draft, mock draft of the year? How do you think you went?
I'm pretty happy with that.
It's hard with the 30 seconds, isn't it?
It is, and came in with little to no preparation. But I think something that I've learnt from listening to yourself and G over the past couple of years is that you've got to be prepared to pivot, and you've got to be prepared. You've got to have that backup plan. So you can't just come in and go, yep, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to punt blocks, or I'm going to punt 3 free throws and turnovers before you even start. You've got to, from the start, pick the best player on the board, and then be able to build your team from there. So for me, I've gone quite defensive heavy, but then I've got the likes of also Dante. I've got Jalen Green, LeBron, SGA. Like, they can all score. I'm probably struggling a little bit with threes still, and maybe blocks as well, but overall, very happy.
Again, horse, blocks, who gives a shit? When we look at blocks, it's Wemby. We can say it's Wemby. So even actually, holy crap, how the hell has Alex? So if we have a look at Alex, who is apparently leading blocks, Chet, Duran, Gafford, he's done well, 80 to be able to nullify and pick up the blocks elsewhere. But I still don't think that's going to be able to be formulated. We don't have to worry about it too much. But if you don't have Wemby, don't worry too much about it, unless you're getting going a lot of players to be able to get back the blocks. But yeah, I reckon you've drafted well there, horse. I think the one thing that I like to do as well when I have Shea, yes, he's an amazingly good steals guy, and I think you've leaned into that beautifully well. The other thing he does well for a guard, though, is blocks. And you had White and Shea, and then we probably could have gone one more blocks guy instead of Valanciunas. I reckon that's the only difference I would have made. Other than that, love it. But you got Sarr, actually. Actually, you got Sarr to be able to nullify it later on. And, I reckon you've done that really, really well to be able to get the best out of it. It's a team that doesn't look good on the projected standings, but who gives a shit about projected standings? That's why we're here to tell you the difference between projected standings and what is actuality, because you can put the numbers in, but then sometimes it's like, well, if you don't have this, this, and this, and then the numbers get skewed, and you're like, oh, well, shit.
100%.
Let's have a gander. My team. So I went with a Jayson Tatum build, which I really don't like. One, I don't like taking Jayson Tatum at 8. And 2, Tatum is good because he doesn't have any flaws and he has a lot of scoring. But also, too, there's so many Boston players that are great on this team. And I need to see a lot out of Tatum. There's games where he can go, 12, 3, and 1, and you're like, oh God, why did I pick this bloke? And then there's games where you're like, okay, here's the 40 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. You're like, oh yeah, here we go. Let's strap in. But it can be a real roller coaster ride. I went with that to try and then I tried to get some defensive stats early to be able to get that around pretty quickly. Barnes, I was okay with the pick to get the steals there, but I probably should have leaned into him to be able to get the blocks as well that he's able to be able to get. I probably should have leaned into that a little bit more, but well, it is what it is. I got Murray, Desi Bain, Kawhi Leonard. Let's hope that he plays. Tobias Harris, Ivica Zubac, who we love with James Harden, Al Horford, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, RJ Barrett, Jeremy Sohan, and Dyson Daniels. Bendigo's finest behind you, of course, horse. That is for certain.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But hey, that was a good draft. I mean, it was ones that it's a tough one, when you're doing the ones in the first round, when you get, the 8th pick, I always find the 8th, 7th, 8th, and 10th to be probably the hardest ones. If you get 5th, or if someone drops you at 6, or if someone drops you again at 7, then it can be workable. 8's a bit of a bitch because most of them are gone there, unless you have that swing on Joel Embiid. It's tough in that first round, Horse.
100% it is. Yep.
Yeah. Because the thing I've noticed is a lot of people go, if AD drops you at 7, right? Oh boy, shit is opening up, because if you get AD at 7, there is a genuine chance you could rebound that with Chet Holmgren in the second round, and you are bloody competitive there.
Smoking.
Or you can do it with, guys like Spider Mitchell. You're able to get the second layer of these guys that are nearly first round guys to be able to come into your team there, because now Trae Young's up, Harden's up. People are looking at that. When you're at 7, though, it feels pretty iffy to be having that gamble on either Harden or Trae Young that early. So,
yeah, no.
Yeah, that's how we go. But, Horse, hey, look, first and foremost, thank you so much for jumping in. God, I've missed doing podcasts with you, my boy.
It's great, isn't it? Just so easy.
Oh, no,
but
isn't it?
One thing I do want to drop, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you are keen to hear more from Skiddy, G, myself, or any of the other guys at Insight, jump in the Patreon. The link will be in the description below. We're always in there. We love a bit of banter, but most of all, the knowledge, the NBA knowledge there that the boys at the NBA side of things have is second to none. They've helped me win leagues in the past. So, stick around, or if you're not in there, join up.
Yeah.
There is plenty going on in there, and you'll no doubt enjoy it.
100%. DM my ass on Twitter, DM G on Twitter. We'll get you sorted in there. You can join in anything that you want. It's all good and fun. And if you have any of the questions that to help you win your leagues, no worries there. And also, Horse, I know you've got it. I know this is going to be able to help you tomorrow. Big draft day kit. Me,
100%.
Melly, G, and Matrix. All of our insights, all of our players that we think is in there. I'm giving you guys a tip. Timberwolves players for me are starting to go up a little bit. Jaden McDaniels I'm looking at. Dante DiVincenzo. You guys already know that I am keen on Betty Matherin in the last round as well. These are guys that I'm just vibing with now. It's good. It's nice. It's proper. It's what we're going to be able to bring forth, and hopefully we can bring forth more content for you guys. Hopefully you guys like this one. Make sure you drop a like. And subscribe. We'd very much appreciate it. It keeps us going. And
absolutely.
From me, Skiddy IFS, from Horse, SC at SC Horse, Big Horse.
Yes, sir.
We love that. We're going to be out here, boys. All right, we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.